Herkese merhaba. Yes, I just said hello everyone in Turkish, which is widely spoken at Azerbaijan. I'm here to discuss the conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan. Fresh clashes erupted on the Armenia Azerbaijan border recently, threatening to push the countries back to war 26 years after a ceasefire was reached. Dozens have been killed so far. The conflict between two former Soviet republics has wider geopolitical implications as Turkey, which shares a border with Armenia, is backing Azerbaijan, while Russia, which has good tie with both countries, has called for ceasefire. So we wonder, why are they fighting? Nagorno-Karabakh, home for around 150,000 people, is at the center of the conflict. It is located within Azerbaijan but is mostly populated by those of Armenian ethnicity. The conflict can be traced back to the pre-Soviet era. Once Azerbaijan and Armenia became Soviet republics in 1921, Moscow gave Nagorno-Karabakh to Azerbaijan but offered autonomy to the contested region. In 1988, the National Assembly voted to dissolve the region autonomous status and join Armenia, but Baku, the capital of Azerbaijan, suppressed such calls, which led to a military conflict. But Armenia and Azerbaijan became independent countries after the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991. The clashes led to an open war in which tens of thousands of people were killed. The war lasted till 1994 when both sides reached a ceasefire, but they are yet to sign a peace treaty and the border is not clearly demarcated. By that time, Armenia had taken control of Nagorno-Karabakh and handed it to Armenian rebels. The rebels have declared independence but have not won recognition from any country. The region is still treated as part of Azerbaijan by the international community, and Baku wants between to take Armenian rebels and the Azerbaijan army in Nagorno-Karabakh. A self-declared republic within Azerbaijan risks becoming a wider regional conflict. Though Armenia and Azerbaijan agreed to a Russian-mediated ceasefire last week after days of fighting, the truce crumbled immediately aimed a blame game. Whatever the truth is, an emboldened Azerbaijan backed by Turkey seems determined to press ahead with its offensive. The conflict over Nagorno-Karabakh is declared old. The region, largely populated by ethnic Armenians, is located within the international boundaries of Azerbaijan. Under the Soviet Union, it was an autonomous province that was part of the Azerbaijan Republic. In 1988, when the Soviet power was receding, the Regional Assembly in Nagorno-Karabakh voted to join Armenian, triggering ethnic clashes. After the Soviet disintegration in 1991, Armenia and Azerbaijan went to war over this largely mountainous forested enclave. By the time a ceasefire was reached in 1994, the rebels, with support from Armenia and Russia, has established their de facto rule and extended their influence to the Armenian border. Ever since, the border has remained tense. What makes the clashes now far more dangerous in the external intervention? Turkey has called Armenia a threat to peace in the region. The Azeris and Turks share an ethnic and linguistic bond. Also, the pre-Soviet Azerbaijan was a local ally of the Ottomans when they invaded Transcaucasia in the last leg of World War I. For Turkey, which under President Recep is trying to expand its geopolitical reach to the former Ottoman regions, the conflict over Nagorno-Karabakh is an opportunity to enter the South Caucasus. It also has a particular bad relationship with Armenia, But its problem is that Armenia is a member of Russian-led Collective Security Treaty Organizations CSTO. Russia enjoys good economics and defense ties with both Armenia and Azerbaijan. But Armenia, as a CSTO member and host to a Russian military base, has more weight. In a wider conflict, Armenia could trigger Article 4 of the CSTO treaty and ask for Russian help. And if Moscow responds favorably, that would pit Russia against Turkey, a NATO member. Russia, already involved in military conflicts in Syria, Ukraine, and Libya, may not like opening another front. That is why it has re emphasized its neutrality and hosted talks in Moscow for a truce. But it will be forced to take sides in the conflict splits into Armenia. Both sides should be understand and violate situation and call off the hostilities. Nagorno-Karabakh has in the past witnessed large-scale ethnic violence. Instead of risking a general war, Azerbaijan, Armenia, and the Karabakh rebels should go back to the ceasefire and on open November up 10, diplomatic channels. A Russian-broked ceasefire agreement was signed by the President of Azerbaijan and the Prime Minister of Armenia, ending 6 weeks of warfare over disputed territory in the Nagorno-Karabakh region. It is estimated that thousands of fighters and more than 100 civilians were killed in the fiercest conflict. Nagorno-Karabakh, officially part of Azerbaijan but controlled by ethnic Armenians, broke away from Azerbaijan in a 6-year-long war that ended in 1994 but was never completely resolved. In September of this year, simmering conflict broke out into war once again, with each side blaming the other for escalations. The new ceasefire agreement cedes control of large area of disputed territory back to Azerbaijan and places 20,000 Russian soldiers in the area to act as peacekeepers. As the handover date approached last week, some villagers set their own home on fire before fleeing to Armenia. Hope this conflict resolves soon and reaches many.